Hey there, it's Ben from Pattern Profits bringing you the weekend update and weekly watch list for the first week of 2022. We're starting with IWO, our proxy for small cap growth, having a difficult time pushing above anchored VWAP from off of this swing high. Kind of right there several times, but not able to close above. Volume shelf point of control just above. You also have anchored VWAP from off of this high, as well as the year to date, 2021 year to date anchored VWAP in red there, right there too. 5065 cloud also right there. So if we can push through here, this is the next level above that we'll have to see how things act right around 300. You push through there, you got a shot at making the run back towards 315, 319 in this area, but gotta push through those levels first. If you look at FFTY, similar story there. You're just below. You got anchored VWAP off of the high, this kind of double top pattern, came down, bounced nicely. Now, volume shelf, point of control, and anchored VWAP year to date, and from this swing high here, all coming right above kind of where we came up to last week. That's right where we were rejected on Tuesday. So want to see if we can push through there. And then if we look at PDP, that's the momentum ETF. Same type thing. Anchored VWAP off of the high, acting as resistance. You're kind of right there with 5065 cloud. So if you can push above there, may get back above 5065 cloud. You can see 1020 cloud just starting to go green. Held that year to date anchored VWAP off of the swing low here and year to date, which starts right there. You can see how it held that and bounced, and now just need to push through here, turn that back to the upside. Then maybe we can get a run back towards those prior highs. That's just over 100. 101.60 was the high there. Getting right into a few setups for this week. Danaher, DHR. This a cup with handle pattern. Let me zoom out just a bit here. There we go. And 331.69, the standard pivot there. You have the cup handle. Nice rally here back to that pivot. Just need to push through there. 331.69 on some volume. Let me bring this over a little closer so you can see kind of how the volume sets up. You ended up kind of gapping there above the volume shelf and point of control there. Had a nice little run to end last week. So now just looking 331.69. Just be aware 333.96, the prior high over here. So if you do push through there, we'd like to see it take out that level too, or else you could put in another little handle up a little bit higher against that. That's Danaher, DHR. I also have Ulta Beauty, ULT8, this ULTA, this little consolidation that it's been in since the summer, basically. 414.98, the pivot. Tried to go a couple times, couldn't push through there. So want to see if it can get through that 414.98 pivot next time on some big volume. Did have a bullish outside day there Friday. So sets it up well on any upside continuation to finally push through and get a close above that 414.98 level. I also have MU, Micron. Now this one, we've been following this one for quite a while. Has had a great move off of the bottom, and then 96.96 was the prior high. Let me zoom out a little bit more, and you can see that that high here came up and tagged that level, then pulled back. Common for this to be an area where it puts in a handle. It's only pulled back a couple days, but if this does come in a little bit more, 96.75 was the high here. That'll give you a new pivot, and like to see a few more days coming in. Maybe let 1020 cloud catch up, or could possibly test this anchored VWAP off of the gap right here. So we'll be watching for that to put in more of a handle and then push through and break out to new highs there. That's Micron MU. Heavy call flow into the name last couple weeks as well. So definitely worth keeping on your radar. Tesla, good numbers over the weekend. We talked about this one last week quite a bit. You have an earnings gap, and you have, we'll zoom in a little bit more, and you have an anchored VWAP from off of the high here, an anchored VWAP from off of this earnings gap. And they all kind of meet right here. You also have the 50 portion of 5065 cloud volume, shelf, and point of control just above Friday's close to your inside day there on Friday. So that inside day comes out. You can even add a little kind of a little flag going on here. You've got this little descending trend line. This inside day comes back out to the upside, and we're in good shape there. This move off the low here, 886, and the high there, 119. So about a 230 point move there. So if you take this high, which was 1082 at 230, that gets you back above 1300 would be the measured move here, and that would put you into new highs. So kind of an important spot here. Want to see if this can make the turn, come out of this little flag back to the upside. Certainly would bode well for growth in general if it can do that. IMO, Imperial Oil. If energy is hot, I like the way this cup with handle pattern is set up here. We'll zoom out just a little bit. So a lot going on late last week there. You've got 3680 as the standard pivot here. Nice bullish outside day Friday, and that came courtesy of this power of three setting up here, 10, 20, 50 cloud right there. Volume shelf, put a control just below. So easy to manage your risk against those levels. And then you've got this bullish outside day. So any upside continuation there should get you through that 3680 standard pivot. Nice cup with handle pattern. Would like to see volume pick up as it comes through there. Be aware last couple weeks, you have holiday volume, but we should see volume pick back up next week. So again, that's Imperial Oil, IMO. Keep an eye on energy and crude if you're thinking of getting involved in energy. ARC-B, this is one we talked about. Out of this breakout, nice move, formed another little cup base, came out of there last week, and then weakness late last week brought it back in. So retested that pivot and held. Now you've got kind of a little descending trend line forming there. This 116.79 standard pivot holding, that was important for this. Didn't quite come down and test anchored VWAP from off the low, but notice how 50.65 cloud held there. So now want to see this come out of the flag. Again, 116.79 was that pivot. If it does come in and retest that again, that's what you want to look for. Maybe it goes inside here, but I'd watch for that move through that descending trend line for the next leg up. Also have a couple others that kind of dancing around, similar to ARC-B, dancing around pivot. I'm going to keep an eye on NTR. This is another one that had a nice breakout here. Good volume, even though it was the holiday. It was the power of three setup back here that got it moving. Now coming back in, may come in a little bit more. Didn't fully retest that pivot. 1020 cloud just below, but seeing if that comes in a little bit more towards 7350, or does it just decide to make the turn. And then I also have FCX. It's another one that we've talked about quite a bit. This 39.66 standard pivot, the alternate pivot, worked out well. Now you're dancing right around the 41.60 standard pivot. Tried to go Thursday, came back in, kind of flagging right around that pivot. Light volume here, so would be nice to see that 41.60 pivot hold and then make that move to the upside as bigger volume picks up next week and comes in. Again, that's Freeport McMoran, FCX. That's all I have into next week. Hope you have a great trading week, and I will see you over on FinTwit.